Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be discussing with you guys my 2024 reading plans and goals. I know it's a little bit early for this. I'm filming this in the middle of December, but I just want to kind of get a preliminary plan of the books that I want to read, some authors I want to try, some series I want to finish. So I thought I would just share that with you all. But before we go ahead and get on into the video, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new content. I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and sometimes other days throughout the week. Also, don't forget to check down the description box below for links to my Patreon, where I do book giveaways, as well as my Amazon shop, where I list all of the books that I discuss on my channel that I really enjoyed and recommend. So let's go ahead and start off with the amount of books that I want to read in 2024. So my goal is 50. I feel like that is an achievable goal. It is a feasible goal for me. So I am happy with that. I'm going to break this video down into some series that I want to finish, some series that I want to start, some authors that I want to start, some books that I want to read, kind of like a, I guess, structure TBR. So starting with my adult fantasy, there are two series that I have one book left. I just need to finish it, and it's embarrassing that I have not finished these two series because it's been like years. And I do have a video discussing all of the fantasy series that I'm currently in the middle of, so I will link that up in the cards for you. So those are series that I need to finish in general, but these two, I just need to read the finale. The first one is the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab, and this is, I believe, A Conjuring of Light. And I love V.E. Schwab. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. I did a whole video on why you should read V.E. Schwab, so I'll link that up in the cards for you guys. And it's just embarrassing that I haven't read this book. And then Threads of Power came out not that long ago, which is a continuation or a spinoff from this series. I'm honestly not sure. And I definitely want to read it, and I can't until I finish A Conjuring of Light. So this one will definitely be on my early winter TBR, probably January, February, so I can knock this series out. And then the next one is the Draconis Memoria series by Anthony Ryan, which is ironic because I finished his Covenant of Steel series earlier this year, and the fact that I was already in the middle of a series of his and then started a new one, I'm ridiculous like that. And I love Anthony Ryan. I love the Covenant of Steel. I have reviews for all of those books. So the fact that I can't even finish this one is just unacceptable to me. So this is a story surrounding magic and dragons and ingesting dragon blood and getting special powers. And it's just a really cool world. Lots of politics, wars, dragons, like forgotten abandoned cities. So a lot of tropes that I really enjoy. So this is another one that I hope to get to way early in the year. Next, I have a couple of adult fantasy series that I own all of the books in the series, and I just have not started them. So I feel like I would rather focus on books that I already own all of the books and just read through the series rather than starting, for example, a series where I only own the first book and then would have to purchase the other ones. So I'm going to start with two authors that I've already read before, and then I'm going to jump into two new authors to me because I would like to experiment with some new fantasy authors because you know, I've read all of the most popular ones, and there's a ton out there that I want to get to. I'll start with Mark Lawrence. So I want to read his Red Queen's War trilogy. I read the Broken Empire trilogy last year, and I do have reviews for all of those books, so I'll link those up in the cards, and I absolutely loved it. It was so dark, it was so gritty. Jorg was just such a horrible character, but had a crazy character arc, and it was really just different, and I found myself sucked into the world. So as far as I know, the Red Queen's War takes place in the same world, but it follows different characters. And this is another trilogy. I honestly don't know what it's about. So I'm excited to see how he continues the story in his world, especially considering what we learned about his world in the end of Broken Empire trilogy. So I'm just excited to delve back into more Mark Lawrence. And then I would like to read or start the Age of Madness trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. I finished up his Levelers series this year. I read Red Country and loved it. One of my favorite books of the year so far. And it just made me kind of thirst to read more Abercrombie. So I do have this entire trilogy. Same thing. I really have no idea what this trilogy is about. I just know that it takes place in his First Law world. So I'm super excited to see what else Abercrombie has in store for us. So going on into two series that I own all the books and they're new authors to me that I want to start. The first one is the Great Coats Quartet by Sebastian de Castell. I found this entire quartet at Books A Million already discounted, plus as an educator I get 20% off. So I really couldn't pass it up, and I've just heard that this is a really, really dark, grim dark type story, which I do enjoy. But in this book, we are following a character named Falsio, I think is how you pronounce it, and he was part of this elite group of soldiers known as the Greatcoats, and they used to, be revered and have all this glory. And then something happened, and they were kind of torn apart, and now this kingdom is in ruins. So Falsio is trying to gather all the Greatcoats together to kind of reclaim their glory and combat the bad stuff that's going on in this kingdom. So that's all I know, and I've heard good things about it, so I want to go ahead and give this series a go. And then we have the Books of Amba by Tasha Suri. This is just a duology. There's only 2 books in this, so that's something I can easily knock out, and it is a desert fantasy. And she has published more books since this duology, which is why I want to, get through it so that I can jump into her other works. I really enjoy desert fantasies. I actually have a video where I talk about some desert fantasy books that I recommend. I'll link that up in the cards for you guys. But from my understanding, in this book, we are following a group of nomads and their magic is forbidden. So the emperor, not really forbidden, but it's magic that is dangerous and sought after. So the emperor actually is always hunting these people. And there is this girl that has this really powerful control over this magic. So she is being hunted, and it's just following her story. So like I said, I enjoy desert fantasy. So this one is definitely one that I can see myself reading pretty quickly and really enjoying. And the next goal that I have is to continue reading the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. I have not yet decided if I want to finish this series in 2024. This is book 6, so I have 4 books I need to read, which is actually very doable in 2024. So let's go ahead and just set that goal. I'm going to finish the Expanse series in 2024. Now I'm going to jump into some of my young adult goals, which I really don't have that many. So the only series that I want to finish in 2024 is the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. This is Kytonic, and I want to say that there's one more book that he's going to put out in this series. I thought it was only going to be 3, but I think it's actually going to be 4. So I need to continue with Kytonic and then get the 4th book and finish out the series. So this is the only series that I'm prioritizing I want to finish. There are a couple of other YA series that I still need to finish, but for some reason or another, I'm not super motivated to put them as a high priority. I just really enjoyed the series. I love Brandon, as we all know, so I'm going to make it a priority. So going on into my young adult books, I was looking through my shelves when I was reorganizing them last week, and I realized that I have a ton of completed series. I own all the books that I haven't even started. And that's a big commitment for me to start a whole bunch of new YA series. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to prioritize duologies. I have a handful of YA duologies that I can easily read, and then that'll be a completed series. I'm not sure which ones, I'm looking at my shelves. I'm not sure which ones I actually want to read, so I was just going to show you the options. And then if any of you guys have read any of these duologies, maybe you can just leave a comment. Let me know if you really enjoyed them. The first books are The Glass Spare and The Cursed Sea by Lauren De Stefano. This is a duology, obviously, that I picked up at my used bookstore, and I could not tell you what the heck this series is about. I honestly do not remember. Okay, so I just read the synopsis, and in this world we are following a girl who's the king's daughter, and she's been kept a secret to serve as a spy because her touch turns everything to gemstone. So I do not remember that being the plot of this book. It sounds very King Midas inspired, so now I'm definitely interested. So if you guys have read this series, let me know in the comments how you enjoyed it. Next is The Last Namsara by Kristen Cicerelli. This is a dragon rider series, and that's all I know about it. And Kristen Cicerelli has published some other books since this series, so I would really like to see her work to see if I enjoy it. I love these covers. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmery gold, but I think I picked up both these books used or super cheap on Book Outlet, and I love a good dragon rider story, so I'm surprised I haven't read it yet. And then we have Everless and Evermore by Sarah Holland. This is a series where, if I'm not mistaken, time is used as the magic system, or time is used as currency or something along those lines, which is always an idea that I really find interesting. So I could see myself reading this and, really being invested in it. So let me know if you guys have read this and what you thought about it. All right, y'all, those are just some preliminary plans for 2024 regarding my reading. There are some series that I want to start, some new authors that I want to experiment with, some series that I need to finish and knock off my TBR. So let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, if you have any recommendations for how I should prioritize some of these series, or maybe what you guys plan on reading in 2024. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in another video soon. Goodbye.